welcome to the start of another week in my life vlog, spooky edition. I thought it'd be fun to vlog the transition from Summerween to spooky season. It's kind of like my little goodbye to spooky summer vibes. I think officially most people designate September 1st as like the official beginning of the Halloween season. I mean, many people start way before that. And August is kind of like that transition month. To kick off this vlog, I thought it would be awesome to visit my Spirit Halloween store. When the Spirit stores start opening up, to me, that's like the transition time period from the summer to the fall. And so rumor has it, Spirit stores have been popping up around my area. I think it was Freckles and Pumpkins who shared this really cool VHS case that is like a faux case, and it includes like cute little trinkets and like collector items like pins and lanyards from like specific movies. She had one from Trick or Treat, which is adorable, one of my favorite movies. So I'm like, okay, if I find that, definitely swooping that up. So after I finish my coffee, I was gonna go head on out. I'm drinking Bones Coffee's Haunted Mansion brew, and it is called like Brownie from the Beyond, which is so freaking cute. I'm going earlier in the morning because I get a lot of anxiety when there's a lot of people out on the weekends. It can get like super hectic. So it's a weekday, I'm going pretty early. I'm not spending any time getting ready. I just like kind of want to get out there, go to the stores, see what they have, shop in peace, and then I'll come back and I'll share with you all because talking in my car is just way too hot. Yay! Whew, oh my gosh, I'm like dying of heat. That was really fun. I had not really seen anybody post about Spirit Halloween online, any like YouTube or Instagram, anything like that. So I went into the store very much like unaware of their theme, what they were going to be doing, how they're going to be setting stuff up, what they were offering. And I just get so much joy at being in a room, in a space that's just like full on Halloween in your face. The store I went to, they were still putting stuff out, so it didn't feel full, like fully done. So I didn't find that VHS case that I wanted, so I'm gonna have to go back. And they also had way more corpse bride stuff this year, which was awesome for me because I feel like that is one of the like underrated Tim Burton movies and just like Halloween movies in general. Like we need more corpse bride love in here. I picked up some Haunted Mansion stuff, so I did get this decal that you can in theory put anywhere. I'm hesitant to put it on my car because I don't know how easily removable this sticker is. And then I picked up this little like plastic knit clown, and I didn't realize it when I purchased it, but actually it has like a little string on it, so I could use it as an ornament on my black little Creepmas tree, or I can just kind of like put that string on the back and I can just like put it on my bookshelf as like a decor piece. Something I look forward to every year is their mystery keychain bags. I got two. I got one that was for the Haunted Mansion and then one for Killer Clowns. This took me like so long to choose which one I was gonna go with. I was kind of like feeling the bags a little bit to see like which shape it might be. And it's so hard because like it's a pretty penny, like they're not cheap and you don't know what you're getting, and some of them are like not good, or like some of them I just don't want, or like I already have one of the hitchhiking ghosts. And then when I opened them up, I was really happy with what I got. And then if you saw my vlog where I go to see the Lost Boys on the beach where it was filmed in Santa Cruz, you know that I will not pass up anything Lost Boys, so I did see a pin. After I wrapped up Spirit, I realized that the mall was opening up, and believe it or not, at the very middle of August here, I have not gone to Bath & Body Works at all. I have not purchased anything from them. So I had to go into that store, and then also I went to Hot Topic as well. At Hot Topic, I picked up a really cute Haunted Mansion sticker. I also picked up a wall decor piece that is one of the portraits in the stretching room for the Haunted Mansion bride. I already have one, which is the man standing on top of the barrel of dynamite. So this is my second one in the collection, and I'm hoping over time to collect all four. And then lastly, I picked up this glow-in-the-dark coloring book that is Nightmare Before Christmas themed. Hot Topic is just such a fun store that I think really takes me back to my childhood. And sometimes when I'm walking in there, I feel just like a little too old, but it's interesting how like things that I loved when I was literally in high school are still on the shelves. Like I was seeing some Twilight backpacks and purses. Like, is that coming back? Is that a thing again? Okay, and then lastly in this haul, I did go to Bath & Body Works. I'm not like a huge Bath & Body Works person. I think I only really go there once a year, and it's gonna be around the Halloween season. I only got one candle, and that was gonna be pumpkin carving because that is my all-time favorite one. And when I smell it, I just like instantly think of Halloween. And because I have a ghosty theme in my bathroom during Halloween, I finally got this little plug-in that is an iridescent ghost. I was also able to pick up the little ghosty pocket back holder where I could put my little hand sanitizers in there. It's the one that like dangles and has like the little rhinestones on it. And this hand soap, I just loved how vibrant the green color is. And when I smelled it, it just smelled like just the sickeningly sweet scent of candy around Halloween time. And bonus, the packaging did have a ghost on it. So putting this in my bathroom will like perfectly fit my little ghost theme. Okay, so it is like not even noontime yet, but I need to get ready for my day. As I was like driving around, I did start the audiobook for Dracula. So I've been making my progress, making my way through that. The language isn't too inaccessible. That was a concern of mine, so I'm glad that's not an issue. I could like actually understand what's going on. Before I go back to Dracula, I did want to wash up and get ready for the day because I didn't want to like have to get ready later on. We're gonna get some dinner and then we're gonna have like a little date night. We're gonna check out this new spot that is a speakeasy. And then obviously I'm gonna make sure I stay hydrated. Okay, so I got home from work a few hours ago. I took a shower, just needed to like cleanse myself. Putting twine on this tin sign has like been on my to-do list for many weeks. It feels so good to finally have this all done. So now my boyfriend can just kind of put this up outside on our porch, on our patio, but I'm waiting on him to do the whole like little command strip thing. Of course, at the end of summer, I do this, but to be fair, I did just get this a few weeks ago. It wasn't intentional on the outset. We kind of just wanted like some bright summery colors and decor pieces to be out there on our patio, but ultimately, we did find some signs that were very Summerween, summer horror themed, like the Jaws one and this creature one, all year round Summerween, and I love it. I have my notes here. I did want to talk a little bit about Dracula. I think I'm like at the halfway mark at this point. I've already gotten past the chapter that was all about the captain's log for the Voyage of Demeter. That was really cool because the whole reason why I'm reading Dracula right now is because the Last Voyage of Demeter is coming out in theaters literally next week, so I wanted a little bit more context before I watched that movie. Something that I find to be so ridiculous and also just so much of the time period is all of like the cultural otherness and like Orientalism. So like one thing I wrote down in my notes is that Jonathan Harker feels like it's spooky for the locals to practice their religion. And he's always talking about how it's so odd and so quote unquote strange the ways that they engage with their own cultural practices. It makes me think of like this juxtaposition at the time where you have the emergence of science in like an official medical field that is being validated by academia versus like this old school folklore, folk science, folk medicine that is definitely being demeaned. However, if Jonathan Harker actually seriously considered the locals in the area around Dracula's castle and their warnings for him to turn back, like they're not being vague, they're being very explicit about the dangers that lie ahead for him. But because they seem like these like superstitious weirdos and they're not his vision of like what is normal, he totally disregards them. He's like just makes these comments about them being less civilized for things like not having timely trains. At one point, he actually even refers to them as like barbarian. But it's just so silly to me because like everybody is like crossing their bodies in fear and telling him that there's danger where he is going and he doesn't think anything is up. Like Jonathan Harker, I don't know what you're doing, buddy. The imagery, the tension, the suspense, it feels so contemporary and it's very descriptive. And I love the scenes with Dracula. And again, that chapter with the captain's log that is talking all about the experiences of those who were on the Demeter, the ship that takes Dracula from his homeland into the UK. Graphic and amazing, but like also filled with so much mystery, and it just makes me think about how they're going to expand and build upon that chapter in The Last Voyage of Demeter. I'm just planning on doing a little bit of self-care today, relaxing, doing some reading, watching some things, and just kind of like putzing around my apartment.
So we gotta find our flight to Disneyland. That's gonna be a little later.
Right now we're currently trying to figure out what kind of flight situation we want for Disneyland because we're going during the Halloween season in October. So gotta get that all sussed out. We're purchasing our tickets right now. Yay! Almost time. Preparing for a Disneyland trip is quite the thing. There's just like so many things you have to think about and then you have to do them ahead of time. So I'm feeling really good because with the flights, park reservations for dining that we know we want to do, and then also with the hotels all done. Now it's just like the really fun part of organizing all of my outfits, and I have some really fun things planned that obviously I'll share with you all when the time comes. But right now, the biggest trip that's on my mind is what we're leaving for today, which is to Las Vegas. I haven't been to Vegas in a very long time. I'm talking probably over 5 years. This is kind of like my opportunity to really live it up, even though I'm 30. You know, my party days are kind of sliding past me, but I'm holding on for dear life. I'm still fun. I still have it in me. I'm really into cocktails. So is my boyfriend. So we have a lot of fun things I've already researched ahead of time. Like, I'm super extra with my itineraries when I travel. I make all my reservations for dining, restaurants. I do a lot of research. I look at some spooky things. The whole reason why we're going to Vegas, though, is to celebrate my friend's 30th birthday. Annie is so awesome. She's one of the sweetest humans ever. She watches my videos here on YouTube. She leaves comments. She loves Halloween too. She's gifted me books for my birthday. Like, she just knows the way to my heart. And also, Vegas is a really fun way to kind of say goodbye to summer. It just is very like a summery party place for me in my brain. So I'm wrapping up my packing because we're leaving later on today. Gotta get that flight. It's only about an hour from where we live, which is freaking awesome. I don't know, the older I get, the harder it is for me to withstand like longer lengths of time on an airplane. I think it's just my body breaking down and deteriorating slowly over time. And relaxing last night and taking it super easy was really the smartest thing for me to do because I think we're just gonna be walking around in the heat often. Because I'm reading Dracula, which is obviously about vampires, I wanted to watch something that was kind of similar that I've wanted to get to for a long time, and that was Night Teeth. This is a Netflix original, and I didn't realize it, but in this movie, there's like a cameo with Megan Fox and Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria. It was okay. I enjoyed it. It was like what I needed in that moment, which is something super light, kind of predictable, nothing too much you have to think about. There was like unexpectedly a really big romance subplot that like I wouldn't even call a subplot, like it was probably the main thing. So if you're into that, I'm sure this will be like right up your alley, but if you want something that's a little bit more world building, a little bit more political, more action, this I don't think is gonna be your jam, but it is just kind of fun and easy breezy when it comes to very tropey, predictable vampire movies. All right, I gotta finish up packing, but the next time you see me, I'll be soaking up the last bits of summer in Las Vegas. On our first night in Vegas, we hunted down the Chocolate Bar, which is located in the New York casino. If you're a chocolate lover, this place cannot be missed. After a really delicious dinner with the group, my boyfriend and I made our way down the strip to the bar at I Love Sugar. It's actually a candy store, and then above on the top level, there's a bar. The drinks they had, oh my God. I had such a hard time deciding which one I was going to get because one is enough for me, but I felt like a little witch over her bubbling cauldron. And yes, those were vodka gummies you just saw there. The next day, we had a really nice long brunch. I was really dragging that day, but I'm really happy that I went to Encore's Beach Club. My boyfriend is a huge Gordon Ramsay fan, and we chose to splurge on the upscale casual dining spot that's located in Harrah's Casino. We ended the evening with drinks at the Golden Tiki, which is off strip, but in my opinion, as a huge tiki bar fan, it was worth the little trip out. And honestly, it's like really close anyway. It's open 24 hours, it also offers food, and it probably is topping my list for best tiki bars that I've visited. It's silly, it's playful, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, just like Vegas. It is our last day in Vegas and we just packed up. Now we just gotta go check out. But for today, on our last day, which is Monday, I really wanted us to check out the Titanic Exhibit. I feel like some museums can be very hit or miss. So I'm curious to see if this has like any actual historical integrity or if it's just for mere entertainment. And I can enjoy those, but I am looking for some like actual accurate information. I am very happy to report that the Titanic Exhibit did not disappoint. It's located inside the Luxor Hotel, which was a place we hadn't visited, so it was fun to have an excuse to finally go inside. They also had a King Tut exhibit that I did not see online, but I have loved the Mummy movie and franchise for so long that that's definitely on my list for next time. The Titanic exhibit, though, was a nice hour spent viewing real artifacts brought up from the wreck. And then they also had some really cool immersive experiences and like little scenes that really set the stage and took you back in time. They didn't allow any video recording, so I can't show you any of that here. But I would recommend this to anyone who wants to learn more about the many expeditions down to the bottom of the Atlantic to study this wreck. Today, I felt like such a corpse, and not the fun kind of corpse. Earlier today, I had work, and a lot of what I'm doing for my training for this new job involves a lot of outside work, and it has been in the 90s here in Northern California. I'm really struggling with a huge sleep debt after coming back from Vegas, which didn't have me really wanting to vlog and be right in front of a camera. But I did have some energy to update my Halloween and horror bullet journal. The spread I was creating here is centering around anything that really sticks out to me when I think about summer 2023. My themes for the month of June, July, and August centered around water horror. I did some things for Shark Week. I focus on a lot of like summer camp slashers. All of that is just a fun way for me to focus on other aspects of Halloween that aren't the traditional like pumpkin, autumnal, fall leaves kind of thing. So of course I had to have something that referenced Jaws, and then also I wanted to make sure there was some creature stuff in here too. A lot of the themes that came up quite a bit in the books I read this past summer had a lot to do with this idea of like a monster. Who is a monster? Who are we willing to transform into the monster? And what does that say about those who wield that power? What are they afraid of? What might be so scary about a shark? What is to be feared of a woman? Having books and movies that really touch on that theme, that kind of commentary and messaging, was a lot of fun this past summer. And ultimately, the biggest takeaway is that we as humans fear things that we cannot control. And I think these two quotes, one from Into the Drowning Deep and the other from The Salt Grows Heavy, really encapsulates that big takeaway for me. So months, years from now, I'll read these, I'll see this spread with this quote, with all these images that has me thinking about all my experiences and all the fun I had this Summerween. Despite the fact that I was holding on to dear life, I was super tired, we did go to see The Last Voyage of Demeter. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I did like the twist that they included within the storyline. I loved the setting of the ship. It's really contained. There's nowhere they could really go. The characters I found to be really fascinating to me were the captain and his grandson. I didn't think the director or the producer was really gonna go there, but they like really went to some really dark places. Hello, Mr. Stay Puffed. How perfect that during the last day that I'm filming for this vlog, I have my last and final Summerween package come in the mail. This package here is from Not Your Average BABECO. They have clothing, they have dishware, they just have tons of things for anybody who loves Halloween. That place is perfect for you. And this is a subscription box. I purposely resubscribed to their subscription box because of the theme for this one, which is Jaws. Okay, time to open up this little bad boy. I have my little receipt. This subscription box always has a sticker in there, and it always is based off of the theme for that month. We're gonna need a bigger boat, iconic. Okay, so opening this right here. Okay, this one right here, we have the Attack of the Killer Shark, which is a creature cosmetics palette. Half of the joy for me is the packaging. Oh my gosh, and the palette is even cooler than the packaging itself. I have this, it's like falling off the plastic. So you open it up, and you have your mirror right here, and then we have the actual eyeshadows themselves. Okay, and then we have a body wash, which is the scent of warm, creamy maple. Smells delightful. It always typically comes with some like clothing item, so I'm assuming that's what this is. Oh my God. They did not give us a little bucket hat. I am not a bucket hat kind of gal. Part of me just feels like I'm not cool enough for this bucket hat, but this is cute and I'd for sure wear this one out in public. It's a tank top right here, and then it's just like the sticker. You have the iconic quote right there. Okay, lastly, they typically always do give us some type of drinkware. And I have a straw. Oh, yay! I needed something for water that was spooky, but like made of like a metal. Absolutely obsessed with this. I have a few good weeks before this starts to feel out of theme for me, and I'm going to drink from this basically every day. So cool. I think it's like useful for both coffee and water. And then I also wanted to give my final thoughts on Dracula after finishing it. If I had to choose some kind of star rating to signify my personal enjoyment, I probably would have to give it like a 3.5 star rating. I don't regret reading it because I feel personally like it's kind of a rite of passage as somebody who loves the horror genre so much. But did I enjoy every moment of this book? No. Did I enjoy the majority of this book? Also no. The first half of the book was my favorite. We had a lot of time with Dracula. It was suspenseful, it was engaging. I've seen Francis Ford Coppola's film adaptation, so a lot of the stuff that showed up in that movie almost exactly was happening in the book. And as a fan of the movie, that was fun for me. I even liked in the middle part of the book where you have Mina and Lucy taking up a lot of the plot. We get to know these two women a lot more. We see Lucy is a very desirable young woman. Mina is a really great partner. As of the time period, you know, her life is kind of centering around marriage and men. And then I really enjoyed the scenes where Mina and Lucy were just kind of grappling with Dracula's presence in England. Like they're just trying to wrap their heads around it, and we know more than they do. So we as the audience, the readers, are picking up on a lot of stuff that they're just like, huh? Like, I don't know what to do with this. Truly, it was the last third of the book that was incredibly boring, dull, and the ending was really anticlimactic for me personally. Things just got super redundant. Like the amount of times that the men in the group profess their love for Mina and how much they, as men, are obligated to like protect her and how they wanted to keep a lot of information away from her because they didn't feel like she could handle the truth of what was happening. So obviously like huge eye roll there. So between all of like the cultural otherization that was happening in the first third of the book and then all this like gendered expectations of who's supposed to be the hero saving the day in the last half of the book really made me appreciate the choices that Francis Ford Coppola made in the production of the movie that features Winona Ryder. They made this story that at its heart I really love. They made it far more contemporary, more modern, and they took the best parts of the book and brought it to the screen. And then they added things. I was like keeping note of like how the film might have been different than the book. And the movie added things that the book didn't have that I really do think Bram Stoker should have added. It just would have made motivations for different characters' choices just a little more compelling. Looking back at all the content I created for this channel and all the fun I had privately celebrating Summerween, I did quite a bit. And it's funny to think that there were like so many more things in my master like content organizer Google Doc that like I didn't even get to, and it just wasn't feasible. Like I was really trying to strike a balance between living my life and creating content around it. But you know, there's always next year, and there's a whole lot to look forward to with the fall season upon the horizon. So looking forward to transitioning into the fall months. My themes for September and October are definitely going to be going more in the traditional Halloween route. This summer did really teach me that it is okay for me to break off from the pack and do things and create content that is a little bit more unconventional for my specific niches. This season of my life is really all about, you know, being okay with going your own way in both a professional sense when it comes to my career, but also creatively with the YouTube channel I'm creating content for, like my Instagram account. And to me, Halloween isn't just about ghosts and pumpkins and haunted houses, which I love all those things so much. For me, living a spooky life is all about finding those dark parts, the darkness that is a part of every season, and being brave enough to enjoy it, to embrace it. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of this community that brings me so much joy. Goodbye summer, hello fall, it is here and we are ready. I'd be so curious to know, have you already transitioned to fall? Are there still some things you need to get done to celebrate summer? I can't wait to chat with you all in the comments and connect with you down there. If you're interested in watching my last Spooky Week in My Life video, I'll leave that for you right here. If you love all things Halloween and horror, definitely consider subscribing to my channel. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!